Water once, then watch your vegetables triple their yield. That's the soil biology secret. If that headline made you raise an eyebrow, good. I was skeptical too the first time I saw the results in my own beds. As gardeners, we've all been promised miracle fixes that fizzled out fast. But this one stuck because it isn't magic, it's biology. One simple watering can flip the switch in your soil, waking up microbes, unlocking nutrients, and pushing vegetables into visible growth almost immediately. Not next season, not next month, often within days. On Soilpower, we don't chase hacks. We rebuild soil systems that work with nature. What I'm about to share is beginner-friendly, cheap, and powerful enough that even experienced gardeners will feel like they've been leaving yield on the table. Most gardens don't fail because of bad seeds or poor watering habits. They fail because nutrients are present but locked away. Your soil can be full of minerals, organic matter, and compost, yet plants still struggle because roots can't access what's there. Plants don't feed directly from fertilizer, they feed through soil life. Bacteria, fungi, protozoa, and nematodes break down organic matter and trade nutrients for plant sugars. When this system is slow or inactive, growth stalls, leaves pale, flowering delays, and harvests shrink. What vegetables need isn't more stuff added to the soil, they need a biological jumpstart. The solution is a biologically active liquid soil drench, a living infusion that delivers microbes, enzymes, and immediately available nutrients straight to the root zone. Think of it as switching the soil engine from idle to full throttle. This isn't synthetic fertilizer, it doesn't burn plants or force weak growth. Instead, it activates the soil food web so plants can feed themselves efficiently. When done right, you'll see deeper green leaves, faster growth, thicker stems, and increased flowering and fruit set. And yes, under real garden conditions, this can double or even triple yields compared to untreated beds, especially in tired or compacted soils. At its core, this drench combines three elements: microbial life, soluble nutrients, and a carbon food source. Together, they create a short-term explosion of soil activity that plants immediately respond to. The microbial side can come from high-quality compost, worm castings, or forest soil. These sources contain bacteria and fungi adapted to nutrient cycling. When suspended in water, they move quickly through the soil profile and colonize root zones. The nutrient component comes from gentle, mineral-rich inputs like compost extracts, fermented plant juices, or diluted wood ash solutions. These provide potassium, calcium, trace minerals, and amino acids without overwhelming the soil. Finally, microbes need energy. A small amount of molasses, raw honey, or plant sap feeds beneficial bacteria, allowing them to multiply rapidly once applied. This combination doesn't just feed plants, it turns roots into nutrient magnets. Within just a few hours after application, microbes start breaking down organic matter and, releasing nutrients in forms that plants can actually use. The roots pick up on this activity and in response, begin to grow new root hairs. These tiny extensions, they dramatically boost the plant's ability to absorb both water and minerals. At the same time, all that microbial activity is improving soil aggregation. Clay starts to loosen up, sand begins to bind together, and oxygen moves through the root zone a lot more efficiently. That's the reason plants often perk up within just a day or two of application, even if you don't add any extra water. This isn't just surface-level growth, it's systemic. Timing really does matter. This drench works best when your plants are actively growing but still a bit hungry. Early vegetative growth, pre-flowering, and right after transplanting, those are really ideal moments. Be sure to apply it as a soil drench, not as a foliar spray. You want it soaking down into the root zone, not just sitting on the leaves. If the soil is bone dry, water it lightly beforehand, and then go ahead and apply the solution evenly around the base of each plant. One thorough application is often enough to trigger weeks of improved growth. In poor soils, a second application 2 to 3 weeks later can push yields even higher. But more is not better here. Overfeeding microbes can lead to imbalance. Think ignition, not constant acceleration. Chemical fertilizers deliver nutrients without life. They force plants to grow, but they don't build soil. Over time, they reduce microbial populations and create dependency. Each season requires more input for less return. This biological drench does the opposite. It increases soil fertility over time. Each application leaves the soil better than before, even after the visible growth surge fades. That's why this method scales so well. Whether you're growing in raised beds, in-ground plots, or containers, the biology does the heavy lifting. The biggest mistake is using chlorinated water. Chlorine kills microbes. If your tap water is treated, let it sit in an open container for 12 to 24 hours before mixing. Another mistake is applying during extreme heat or drought stress. Microbes need moisture and moderate temperatures to establish. Early morning or late afternoon is best. Finally, don't combine this with synthetic fertilizers or pesticides. They undermine the very biology you're trying to build. While the visible growth from one application is impressive, the real power shows up over time. As microbial populations establish, plants require less intervention. Soil becomes darker, looser, and more resilient. Pests decrease. Flavor improves. That's Soilpower in action, working with soil life instead of fighting it. This isn't about chasing giant vegetables once, it's about creating a system where high yields become normal. If your vegetables have been growing slowly, producing poorly, or looking tired despite your best efforts, this one watering can change the entire trajectory of your garden, not by adding more inputs, but by unlocking what's already there. Try it once, watch the response, then decide if your soil ever wants to go back. If this article helped you see your garden differently, make sure to subscribe to Soilpower on YouTube, share this with a fellow gardener, and help spread soil-first growing. The more we rebuild living soil, the more food and freedom we grow together.